Between groups of Native Americans today. Thank you for joining us. I'm Darren Perrin.
And I'm Kat Villianzoni. Vermont Abenakis are under fire from other indigenous communities accused of being pretendians. Our Kiana Burks was at UVM today for the sometimes heated discussion. Kiana, tell us, what's the issue here?
Kat, this is the second time indigenous groups from Canada have come to UVM to make pretendian claims, or what they refer to as race shifting. They say prominent tribal leaders in Vermont are misrepresenting themselves as Native Americans and profiting from it, while harming people with valid ancestry. People filled the Davis Center at UVM for a discussion surrounding race shifting. 3 Indigenous scholars from Canada spoke at the event, detailing the harm that falsely laying claim to a culture can have.
Well, they not only appropriate resources that are meant for actual Native people, but they grab the mic, they tell stories on our behalf, often from a very misinformed historical foundation. What really is not only a disservice to us in terms of appropriating from us, but it's a disservice to the broader public in terms of conveying these inaccurate representations of who we are and what our history is.
The panel did not specifically point the finger at Vermont's Native American groups, but some in attendance say the state-recognized Abenaki and the Vermont Commission of Native American Affairs are perpetrators of cultural appropriation.
I recently have retired from the Commission on Native American Affairs. Right now, the commission is stacked with, in my estimation, a whole room full of white men pretending to be Native.
Members of the Odanak First Nation in Quebec have previously made similar claims against the Vermont tribes, saying that many of the Vermont Abenaki have been unable to prove they are truly Indigenous, and that the state should reconsider the official recognition of them.
Some people might have grown up with their grandmother and their mother telling them who they were. The point now is we need to research those stories to see whether they were really true. And that's what it's really all about.
Just last week, Governor Scott said he was aware of the concerns being raised about the legitimacy of Vermont's 4 state-recognized tribes, but is standing by the state's decision made 2 decades ago.
If the Odanaks in Quebec have contacted the legislature and the legislature wants to meet and have some sort of a meeting, I will consider that invitation. But at this point in time, it's just not a high priority for me.
Members of Vermont's Native American groups say the claims of cultural appropriation being made against them aren't true and are instead an attempt to silence Indigenous voices in the state.
It can happen, and it does happen, certainly. I don't think that applies here at all. I think the case can be made that most of the accusations that are being made are false.
We know who we are. We've been here a long time, and we're not going anywhere. And to have somebody say that they're going to talk to the governor and the governor's going to understand it, I don't know about that. We fought for how many years? 40 years to get recognition in the state of Vermont. And to have our own people come and just try to disgrace who we are, it's wrong. It's just wrong.
Now, although the Vermont Abenaki were able to achieve state recognition, they have not been recognized by the federal government. Going forward, both the Canadian Odanak and the Vermont Abenaki say they hope to be able to meet and find a path toward reconciliation. In the studio, Kiana Burks, Channel 3 News.